Would I Lie to You, the show that sorts the facts from the fibs. On David Mitchell's team tonight, a TV presenter who effortlessly mixes brains and beauty, like a sort of female Rob Brydon. It's Carol Vorderman. And a comedian from Wales, so like all Welshmen, he's just happy to be indoors and out of the rain. It's Rod Gilbert. Mack's team tonight, an interior designer who was recently hired by the Beckhams. It was an easy job. Victoria has a tiny interior and David hasn't got much upstairs. It's Kelly Hoppen. And the thinking woman's comedian. If that woman is thinking, God, what was I thinking? It's Hal Cruttenden. We begin, of course, with round one. It's Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. And it's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. Kelly, you're first.
OK. Rather than use a flannel or a sponge, I wash with an orange.
David's team, what do you think?
How do you use the orange?
Well, I mean, you know, citrus fruits are...
Instinctively, I think Carol doesn't believe it.
Either that or she's completely...
Look, I mean, citrus fruits are known to be very good for your skin. So if you cut an orange in half and you use it on your face, the citrus goes into your pores.
Do you use both halves like that?
Absolutely.
Saves time, that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Then you wash it off with water, just with your hands, and then the best bit is to then take the other side of the orange and buff your skin.
Oh. I'll tell you what, this is a northern man's nightmare. Washing and fruit.
I mean, I'm 73, and honestly, it's fantastic, and you smell so fabulous.
Can I come over and have a smell? Oh, the old Welsh chat-up line. I should be able to smell it, yeah? I should be able to smell... The best evidence, of course, is before she started doing this, she used to have black hair. Yeah. I didn't smell any orange.
Did you not?
No.
You told me earlier today that you had a stinking cold.
Yeah. I have got a stinking cold.
Well,
so
there you go.
I didn't realise you had a blocked nose. Allow me. Orange.
There are so many exfoliating creams that have orange or citrus in.
None of them are an actual orange, though. You know, I've seen shampoos with coconut in, but I've never actually washed my hair just with a coconut.
That would be exfoliating, though, wouldn't it? The outside of a coconut. You could
no question.
You could absolutely draw blood with that. My question here, what you're going to get, then, is orange juice on your face. But I would say if I dirtied my face with orange juice, I would need something like soap in order to wash the orange juice properly off. Otherwise, I'd be going out into the world, essentially, with a soft drink on my face.
OK. Does this ring any bells with you, Carol?
No, I know, obviously, there are things where you know, that things are scented with citrus oils and all of that kind of thing. Never heard of oranges.
Carol, cut to the chase. A wet orange peel is no exfoliator.
No. It's not.
I would live and die by that statement.
Yeah.
You know, what it does is it gets all the...
No, it doesn't.
It does.
So we think it's a lie?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
think,
absolutely.
OK, you're going to say lie. Kelly Hoppen, were you telling the truth then? Or were you telling a lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Kelly doesn't wash with an orange rather than a flannel or a sponge. Rod Gilbert, your turn.
Oh. I once had a holiday in a Frenchman's garage. Can I check if this is a euphemism? Seriously, how old were you, roughly? I don't mean go. Oh, 17. 38? 30... Oh, this is quite recently.
Would it happened?
Yeah. So you're 38, right?
Yeah.
You're in France. Where was the garage? France. Whereabouts in France? Northern France.
Whereabouts in northern France?
Brittany.
In Britain. So you ended up in Brittany.
Southern Brittany.
Southern Brittany.
Okay.
And you
The northern end of southern Britain.
Oh, that's just south of mid-Brittany, isn't it?
Mid-Brittany.
Yeah.
What's the name of the town that you're in? Were you in
The
a town?
town where I stayed in the Frenchman's garage.
was...
Van.
You're in the van in the garage?
The town...
Is this how this mix-up happened? I want a holiday in a van.
Rod, let me speak to you as another Welshman. Maybe he'll understand me.
Ask me a nice specific question.
Did you book a holiday in a Frenchman's garage?
No, I once had a holiday.
When you arrived in the village or town called Van...
Yeah, van, yeah.
Did you already know you will be staying in a garage?
No.
Were all the hotels booked?
No. We thought it looked nice in the brochure.
Who did?
Me and my partner.
Partner?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend?
Now wife.
Blimey, that was a quick 10 seconds. How about
OK. So you were going to Van...
We went to Van.
Right.
Went to a tourist information place to...
Because you hadn't booked anywhere.
We hadn't booked anywhere.
I'm with you.
Right. What happens at the tourist information place?
They said, what about this place? And we said, that looks nice.
Lovely.
The house with a nice
Good.
pool.
Lovely.
Looked nice in the picture.
Yeah.
So we went there.
So you got
Booked
there.
it.
And when you got there...
It was a garage.
I do
The house was nice, but we were in the garage.
Was the garage decked out to look like a room, or was it just spanners and...
It looked like a room with a canoe on the side and a fuse box.
Am I old before my time? But
Yes.
at 38, you don't go on a crazy, we're not going to book where we're going. At 38, you want to know where you're going. We've
Yeah,
got a nice,
I'm with you,
comfy
Hal.
room. You know, if it is true, you totally deserve what happened to you.
I didn't say I didn't enjoy it.
So you like the sort of... It was a deliberate rough
No, it was
and
a
tumble
disaster.
How long did you stay for in the garage?
2 weeks.
You stayed for 2 weeks? How much did you pay?
It was very reasonable.
I'm surprised! Did it have any windows in the garage?
No.
And you said there was a swimming pool?
Yeah, they had a swimming pool.
You were allowed to use it?
No.
I can't help thinking that what you're describing is more of a hostage scenario. And what about Mrs. Gilbert? She wasn't Mrs. Gilbert then, but how did she react? Because she's looking at you, Rod, a tall, strapping, handsome Welshman, what everyone dreams of. And you whisked her there. Was there not a little part of her that died that day when she saw what you expected her to
She
put up
wasn't
with?
very well, if I remember rightly.
Was it carbon monoxide or exhaust fumes? All right, Lee, it's a complex tale. What do your team think?
Absolute lie.
You used to lie?
Absolutely.
Really? Based on just the floundering?
Absolutely everything.
Like what? All right, it did have windows.
What are you thinking, Hal?
It's like he's throwing in things that seem so ridiculous. And
No, but nobody would go and stay in a garage without windows.
But I think
They
he's going to
wouldn't.
throw
You're
things on
Kelly
the-
Hoppen, though, Kelly. He's Rod Gilbert. OK, what's it going to be, Lee? Truth or lie?
Lie.
Lie?
Lie.
Lie. I think it's true, but I'll go with my team and say it's a lie.
You're going to say
Where
lie.
the guess?
OK, Rod. Garage holiday in France. Truth
Garage
or lie?
holiday in the Frenchman's garage in Van. True.
Yes, it was all true. Rod did once have a holiday in a Frenchman's garage. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. This week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Gary. So, Kelly, what is Gary to you?
This is Gary, and he's a feng shui expert. And in order to improve the flow, the energy flow in my home, he advised me to get rid of my cat litter tray.
How? How do you know Gary?
Well, this is Gary. Last year, I kicked a football through my kitchen window, and Gary agreed to take the blame.
And Lee, your relationship with Gary?
This is Gary. Together, we were involved in a low-speed pedalo chase when a Spaniard had nicked Gary's towel.
OK, there we have it. Kelly's feng shui friend, Hal's football fall guy, or Lee's pedalo pal. David, where do you want to start?
OK, Kelly, what was it about the cat being able to crap anywhere that would improve the feng shui of your house?
Well, no, the whole thing about feng shui is that it's all about energy lines in your home. So, for example, if you have a drain...
Like where the sockets go?
Well, no, like drains will mean... So if you, like, a drain in a home, you're losing energy. And where my litter tray was really my...
It's your litter tray?
No, my cat's litter tray. You have all these areas in a home. I'm not a feng shui specialist, which is why I got Gary in. So he explained it to me, and he said, you really need to move your litter tray, because where it's placed is in your wealth corner.
When he first turned up, was his opening line, are you a feng shui expert? And you said no. Did he go, good?
So it was in your wealth corner?
Yes.
So it was... your cat was crapping on your money?
Yeah.
So what do you put there? If it's inappropriate for a cat litter tray...
You need to put a crystal or something that enhances the area rather than a cat litter tray where a cat is going to pee in the corner.
Well, exactly. I mean, the difference between a crystal and a cat litter tray is that one thing has a purpose and the other thing is some tap that you should throw out. What bits of the room are... I mean, there's a wealth corner. What other corners are there that you're not allowed to put anything actually useful?
Well, there's wealth and there's clarity and there's all...
Clarity is for the red wine.
Yeah.
What was anything else wrong with how you had your house?
No, actually, everything else was really good. I mean,
That was it?
No,
How much did you pay him for that?
Well, no, look,
He came in and he just moved the litter tray, but there you go. Job done.
No.
£8,000, please.
No.
Did he move the cat litter tray and go, that should help the wealth corner? Well, certainly mine, anyway.
What problems were occurring then for you to get the feng shui expert,
No,
Gary?
there wasn't any problems. I just believe in it, and I work a lot in Asia.
What was his name again?
Gary.
Oh, yeah.
I work a lot in Asia, and we use a lot of feng shui consultants when we build houses in Asia. And this is an ancient philosophy, so I can understand that you don't understand it if you haven't read about it.
Yeah.
And it is all about balancing out a home. It's like your body. If you have reflexology...
Sorry, can I just confirm to Rod in case he's not sure? She's patronising me.
I'm perfectly happy with that.
Did it seem to have any effect?
Absolutely. That particular space, it was a wealth corner, and it shouldn't have had a litter tray. It needed crystals.
So where did you put the litter tray?
I got rid of the cat.
Oh, my God.
I didn't really. I'm really joking.
I love the way the whole audience went, oh, my God! This is so Britain, isn't it? Ah! There was one French person going, that is perfectly...
No, I didn't.
So, Hal, just say what you said again.
Last year, I kicked a football through my kitchen window and Gary agreed to take the blame.
Hang on. You kicked a football?
Yes. It is a very, very rare event.
Hal, can I ask you how you know Gary, what the connection is?
Both our kids are at the same school.
Right.
Well, that's certainly plausible.
It is plausible.
Many schools have more than one child out.
So there you were, in the garden, playing football.
They'd come over anyway, because we're friends, and we were playing football in the garden, and my wife had already made a comment about messing about, don't break the window, and then we ended up messing about, and, yeah.
And you kicked the ball, and it went through the window.
Yes.
And what did you do then? So it's the
I had a
smash, tinkle, beat.
I just went a bit, oh, no!
Oh, no, my wife is gonna kill me.
Honestly.
She wasn't joking on any level.
No.
This could be it for my marriage. So you said, this is terrible, she's going to be really angry. What did he say?
He offered to take the blame. He said, I'll take the blame for it. Because he's a bit more of a sort of, what's the word, scallywag type character.
I don't understand this modern street talk. Did you say to her, Gary's got something to say to you? Dear, oh dear, Gary. Did you say...
No.
Darling, I said to Gary I'd take the blame, but, you know...
Right, what about Lee?
Yeah, Lee.
Can you just remind us, first of all, what was it you said?
This is Gary, and we were involved together in a low-speed pedalo chase, after a Spaniard nicked Gary's towel.
Describe the scenario of the theft. Where were you and Gary, and where did the Spaniard come from?
Spain. We were on a beach.
In Spain?
That rejected
Not in Spain.
So he'd come a long way, this assailant. He'd obviously heard about a valuable towel. He was an international towel thief.
Yeah. Well, any of those options,
Hang
or
on.
possibly. He was on holiday.
So Lee,
That's my Chinese name. Yes.
so what happened?
I was on the beach, and we decided to go, as two young strapping men do, for a pedalo ride.
Had you known each other long by that point?
No, I was strolling lonely on the beach. And I saw a young gentleman in some tight shorts, and I thought, hello, fancy a pedalo ride? And luckily, he was available.
He's one of your old buddies, then?
Well, we were on holiday together, yeah.
So how long ago was this?
I was about 20.
And so you decided to hire a pedalo.
Yes, we decided to rent out a pedalo and go into the sea. So that's what we do. We go out onto the pedalo, and we start to pedal, and oh, it's great.
Is it this point that you saw the Spaniard?
So then we're sort of coming back to shore, right?
You've done a bit of a...
I'm literally doing the action now with my feet. I'm there.
It looks like the three of you are on jet skis from here, to be honest.
So we're pedaloing, and as we're pedaling, we see a gentleman who's renting out... He's in the process of renting out the pedalo, and we sort of see him walk back, suddenly grab Gary's towel, and he puts it on the pedalo on his girlfriend's seat, and off he goes. So what do?
You give chase.
We give chase.
So you pulled up alongside him in your pedalo,
Yeah.
and you said, excuse me.
Yeah, I wound the window down, and I said... no, I just said, excuse me.
Why didn't Gary... I realise he's mute tonight for a reason.
That's
But...
Because he was keeping his eye on the road, and I was...
So you'd say, excuse me, and he said...
So I had to do the thing of... I had to mime it. I sort of went... I said, you... and then you sort of... And you, so he sort of mimed, I'm sorry, and handed the girl to us, and we went, no. You've got it all wrong. You've got it all wrong. Anyway, that's how I met my wife, and that's the truth.
All right. So we need an answer. David's team. Is Gary Kelly's feng shui friend, Hal's football fall guy, or Lee's pedalo pal? Where do you want to start?
I'm very confused. Is feng shui... I thought it was about don't have the sofa there, move it out a bit more diagonally, and that's a bit more Chinese and cool. But I didn't think it involved crystals. I thought that was a totally different form of charlatanism. I mean, Eastern science.
We don't think it.
We don't think it...
I don't think it is.
Don't think it's Kelly.
I can't see Lee going on a holiday just with one other guy.
No, I
as well.
can't
A group
either.
of guys in their 20s, fair enough, but two 20-year-old boys.
Nah.
What about Hal?
Hal, I think that sounds very plausible.
Except the children bit.
Who's saying I don't have children?
I think Hal does have children.
You don't have children, do you, Rod?
I don't have
No,
children.
2-0.
So, what are you going to say, David?
No.
Hal. You think it's Hal?
Kelly.
You think it's Kelly now? We're going to say Hal.
You're going to say Hal?
Yeah.
OK. Gary, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Gary, and I advise Kelly.
Can I just... Rob, sorry, can I ask a question? Just before we move on too quickly, Gary, David would like to explain to you why the whole thing's a crock of rubbish.
Yes, Gary is Kelly's feng shui friend and has had to endure a dreadful 5 minutes. Thank you very much, Gary. Which brings us to our final round, quickfire lies, and we start with... Carol.
OK. I used to have a job in a safari park gift shop and regularly shared my bed with a lion cub.
Lee Mack's team.
What year was this? Or what rough year? I don't need the exact year.
Is that your opening question, Lee? What year was this? I don't need the exact year.
Well, I didn't want to embarrass Karen in case you said, you know, it was when I was 18 in 1642. I'd just say, give me the decade.
It was in the mid-70s.
So mid-70s, and you worked in a safari park?
I worked in a safari park gift shop.
Which safari park?
Windsor. Yeah, I lived in the safari park at the time. I lived in the safari park at the time.
You did?
With my sister.
But how could
What's
you
your...
live in it?
And
Sorry?
she's human.
She had a house in the safari park.
Is it because she was connected with the safari park?
Yes,
Did they build round her? Did she buy it when it was just in a field? And then one morning she was lying there and she heard this.
She lived in the safari park with her husband,
Yeah.
who
Has he got a
worked
name?
with the animals.
Has he got a name, the husband?
Francis.
Right.
He would bring home the little babies who'd been rejected by their mothers.
Don't, you're going to make me go.
So I went there one summer and there was a penguin in the bath and a lion cub in my bed. So I slept with a lion cub for the summer.
Carol, nothing happened, did it?
It did. No, it did.
God!
No, it only happened when my mum came down from Wales. And she walked into the bedroom and screamed.
I bet
as
she
she
did.
saw me in bed with a lion cub.
How big is the cub? Are we talking, like, very young? Or...
Well, when I got there, it was that big.
Oh, yeah. It was that big by the time she'd finished. Did you sleep with any other animals while you were there? That's a genuine question.
No, I had a bath with a penguin.
You didn't?
Obviously. Was he in the bath and you got in unsolicited, or...?
No, he was in the bath.
He was
in
already in there.
cold water.
Right.
So I had to get the penguin out of the cold water. And
Did
put
you
him in the
pick up that
kitchen.
penguin?
So what are you thinking, Lee?
I don't know. What do we think?
I think it could be true.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous, but she's so convincing.
When you say...
I wish she was on our team.
You're not...
Sorry,
So, Lee, what's it going to be? Truth or a lie?
You're
I
saying...
say it's true.
True. You're saying...
Oh, I'll go true. I'm malleable. Yeah, true.
You're saying true?
Yeah, true.
OK. Carol Vorderman. Lion cub in the bed. Truth or lie?
True.
Wow!
Yes, it's true. Carol did used to share her bed with a lion cub. Next up, it's David.
Whenever I see my postman Roy, he shouts, "Oggy, oggy, oggy," and won't move on until I have replied, "Roy, Roy, Roy."
Does he only do this when he's at your door or if you pass him in the street?
It's whenever I see him.
Whenever you see him?
Yeah. So
And-
obviously I try and avoid him.
Is he a very friendly postman?
He is friendly, but
What's his name?
His name is Oggy. No, Roy.
Is he, talk us through the very first time this happened.
Well, he rang the doorbell because it was a recorded delivery thing.
What was it?
And what was it?
I don't know, I wasn't there. Do you remember I only sleep over Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays?
I can't remember what it was.
Right. OK. So, he's rang the doorbell, and then what happens?
I'm not in. So...
Very handy answer.
Yeah. On another occasion, with a different delivery, I am. I open the door.
Why, is he not knocked?
Before he'd rung the bell...
Yeah.
No, or did I ring the bell?
No,
It
you
must have
didn't
been
ring
him.
No.
Before he'd rung the bell, I hadn't met him. So he rung the bell.
Yes.
Right? I answered the door.
Right, and?
You know, I signed for the thing. He says, "Oh, you're off the telly, aren't you?" I say, "Yes."
So he says, you're on the telly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say, "Oh, my God, I must be hallucinating. It seems like I'm on the doorstep." And I go, I say yes, and he goes, oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet me.
Yeah.
Great moment. Great moment. Yeah. Anyway, the next time I see him, it's out on the street.
Oh, I see. So this is a different time now completely.
Right.
Now you just bump into him.
And now he goes, initially, hello. Then he goes, Oggy. Wow. And goes, you know, like... And I've remembered his name is Roy. I go, and he says, so, Roy, he makes me, he goes, Roy, like in a questioning way.
So?
And I go, yeah, Roy.
Does he do it to everyone?
I don't think he does it to everyone. Actually, much as I'm a funny person.
Yeah.
I mean, peculiar. I don't just, you know, I'm not saying it's not up to me to say. but I'm a peculiar person in that I hate this, but I would be hurt if I thought he did it with everyone.
Tell us about the second time it happened.
I can't really remember.
You will definitely remember the second time, David. It's awkward. So that won't wash. Talk us through the second incident now.
OK. I remember it as if it were yesterday. I am walking out of the front gate.
Right.
It's quite early in the morning. He's right at the top of the road on the corner, coming round with his trolley.
Yeah. Tell you what, I'll be the postman.
Oh.
OK.
OK?
Yeah.
I'm walking.
OK.
Was that a Zimmer frame?
It's my trolley. I think you know it is.
Rob, he'd be whistling, I think.
I was about to whistle.
Now I'm coming out of the front door, slamming the front door, walking along.
Oggy! Oggy!
Roy!
Oggy!
Roy!
So, what are you thinking?
I really haven't got a clue, but I
think
suspect
it's a lie.
it's absolutely lie. It's got to be, hasn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's a lie.
A lie.
OK. David, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. David's postman doesn't shout oggy when he sees him. Oh, that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show, and I can reveal that Lee's team have won by 3 points to 2. But it's not just a team game, and my individual liar of the week this week is Kelly Hoppen. Yes, Kelly Hoppen. The last time a woman deceived me that well, she had big hands and an Adam's apple. Good night. Welcome to Would I Lie to You, the show where honesty is never the best policy. On David Mitchell's team tonight, a comedian with a career spanning 18 years. To put that into perspective, his career is old enough to vote, to get married, and to reject my advances at a bar. It's Phil Jupitus. And an actress who, in Sherlock, sometimes appears opposite her partner, Martin Freeman, but who tonight is making an exception and is appearing opposite her future partner, Rob Brydon. It's Amanda Abington. And standing in as guest captain is Greg Davis. And on Greg's team tonight, he's not the first choir master to end up with his name on a list, although... in his case, it was the Queen's Birthday Honours List. It's Gareth Malone. And, you know, some people are nervous about mentioning this man's height. Not me. I'll happily say it right to his belt. It's Richard Osman. one, Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. Now, to make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've got no idea what they'll be faced with. And it's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. And Gareth is first up tonight.
A quick technique I often use to determine if someone has singing potential is to get them to sing Bar Bar Black Sheep as if they are frightened.
David.
Is it? As if they are frightened?
Yes.
And what is it about that tells you anything?
It's to determine whether they can perform.
But
Not just to sing, but whether they can take it to the
look
next level.
terrified while singing, because that's the key skill needed in a choir.
Yeah, no, it's more about them. You know, it might be that I want them to get under the skin of a piece of music that I'm going to do later. So I want to see whether they've got what it takes emotionally to connect with the song, even if it is Bar Bar Black Sheep.
Is that one of your favourites, Bar Bar Black Sheep?
Well, it's a very good tune.
Well, look, the talk is cheap. Let's see some of that, and I use this phrase advisedly, Malone magic in action.
Greg, could you sing Bar Bar Black Sheep as if you were frightened, please?
Fine, I'm an incredibly versatile actor. Let's go. Frightened.
Frightened.
OK.
Oh.
Black sheep, have you anyone? Science.
Yes, sir.
3 bags full.
Can I ask, are you being Barry, Robin or Morris? I can't quite tell.
Well, I think we've established that he's got potential, and the important thing is...
Give me another emotion, Gareth.
No, well, it's... But that's...
Yeah, I know, but give me another one. Just...
Well, all right. Sexual joy.
Hang on a minute. Have you any...
Can I do the frightened one?
Oh, you want to do that?
I don't get to look someone in the eye very often.
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see, is there anybody here, do you think, who perhaps doesn't like singing, who might be sat in between... Who might be in between his teammates now thinking, oh, I do hope they don't come to me. Is there anyone?
Why don't we ask David to...
Oh, OK, all right.
Could you perhaps sing Bar Bar Black Sheep?
Bar Bar Black Sheep, like I'm very frightened.
Go on, David.
OK. Bar Bar Black Sheep, have you anyone? Yes, sir, yes, sir. 3 bags full.
You know that Gareth didn't want you to sing Bar Bar Black Sheep as if you were a sheep, don't you?
But what do you ascertain from what he's just done?
Well, I mean, he can sing in tune and... in the broadest sense. Yeah, and making people feel comfortable and, you know, let's not start with the Mozart Requiem. Let's start with Bar Bar Black Sheep as if frightened.
So, what are you thinking of this claim of Gareth's?
I think it's true.
Also, you have got to have a thing, if you're auditioning lots of people, you can't think about it with each one. You've got to have a thing you ask everyone to do.
Yeah.
So I think we think
I think we're saying it's true.
I think it's true. OK, Gareth Malone, truth or lie?
It is... a lie.
Phil, it's your turn.
Him. I am addicted to rescuing loose trolleys at my local supermarket.
Greg's team. Supermarkets and trolleys, what do you think?
How often do you do this, Phil?
When I go shopping.
In my experience, at a lot of the supermarkets I've been to, there is a person who often deals with...
Yeah, that's Phil.
I'm just wondering, has there ever been any tension between you and the trolley person at your supermarket?
If the trolley person appears, I hide behind a car.
If you go past a canal and you see a trolley that's been chucked in, as is often the case in canals, will you attempt to retrieve that?
I may now. I don't know. It depends how old it is.
The thing is, the fear would be that an old trolley in a canal will not properly tessellate with a new trolley in a Waitrose.
Depends when the trolley's been thrown in the canal.
Well, it could be, of course, it could have been recently thrown in, but you can't tell, really, until you've got it out. And then if you try and make it, you know, mate...
What if it's a Safeway trolley? The Safeway now no longer in business.
But, yeah, but they thought that about Labradors and Poodles, didn't they? And somebody managed it.
But can you imagine the psychological...
Are you saying there's going to be a Safeway Tros?
So, is he telling the truth?
I think it's true.
Yeah, I think it's true.
You think it's true?
Gareth does.
My respected colleague thinks it's true.
Oh,
hold on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, I'm overruling both of them. I think it's a lie.
You're going to say it's a lie? Yeah. Even though both members of your team think it's true?
That's right.
That's a very, very irresponsible use of power.
Perhaps it is. Me, Mack's not here. This is my bench, and I tell you it's a lie.
Why do you think it's a lie? What about that was unconvincing?
It's irrelevant. I've made my decision.
Okay, so you're saying that it's a lie. Phil, were you telling the truth there, or were you telling us a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Tell you what, Greg, this captaincy lark isn't as easy as it looks, is it? OK, our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of Greg's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Gareth. Gareth Malone, what is this, Gareth, to you?
This is my old neighbour, Gareth, and when I was learning a song, he would distract me by singing the same song in his own flat, but in a different language.
Right. Richard Osman, how do you know Gareth?
This is Gareth. When he came to watch a recording of Pointless, I have to ask for him to be moved away from the front row because his behaviour was putting me off my statistics.
And Greg, how do you know Gareth?
This is Gareth. He was the rickshaw driver I once paid to pedal me home. By the time we arrived, he was so exhausted, I let him stay on my sofa.
So there we have it. Gareth's synchronised singer, Richard's pointless punter, or Greg's shattered chauffeur. David's team, who do you want to start with?
Gareth, what language does he sing the song in, or does it vary?
He was singing in English.
So what were you singing?
German.
Ah.
What song?
I think it was Bach's St. Matthew Passion.
That's what I thought it would be.
So how often did this happen?
Enough for me to remember to mention it now.
Because if a neighbour was singing a song next door to me, the first thing I'd do would be to translate it back to English. And sing it as an off-putting kind of... Especially through a wall. That really cuts deep.
How does it go, Gareth?
I can't remember it in English. You don't really want to hear it, do you?
I'd like to hear it as if you're frightened.
Da Jesus diese Rede vollendet hatte, sprach zu seine Jüngern.
And he was singing exactly the same song, the other side of a wall.
Yeah, I mean, actually,
in English.
I think upper semitone.
So he's your neighbour. He's also called Gareth.
Yeah.
He's singing the same song in a different language and a semitone difference.
Almost unbelievable.
Now, Richard, what was the behaviour in the front row that Gareth did that was pulling you off your stat?
I sit very close to the audience on Pointless, where my little desk is, and there's an audience very close to me. Xander is further away for contractual reasons. But lots of people come and see Pointless regularly, and they know if they turn up early, they can sit in the front row, and Gareth is one of those people. And there's a trick that people in the audience here, sure, if you've been to lots of shows, know that there's a way of getting yourself on a TV show which is laugh in an unusual way.
Sorry.
Carry on.
So you said, now Amanda will almost certainly be on the show.
Yeah.
That's how... So Gareth had a way of laughing. He didn't do it in the first... Because he'd come for 2 shows. He didn't do it in the first show. And in the second show, he'd clearly developed a laugh that sounded sort of like a donkey braying sort of a laugh every time something funny was said. So he did like 4 times in a show.
Can we hear your version of the laugh?
It'd be like a kind... It'd be like a kind of... that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I could hear it all the way through, and so in the first recording break, I said to the floor manager, could you get him moved to the back?
Yeah, can I ask a question at this point? How did Gareth react? Because if we were to pick somebody here and say, sorry, could you go and sit over there, they might be upset. I mean, how did he take it?
No, floor managers are very good. They always just say, for camera reasons, we need 3 more people at the back or something like that. You see, they
so
do
he
all the time.
wasn't told what the reason was?
No, of course not.
How do you think he feels now?
Well, yeah.
He literally came up to me about 3 days later and said, I know why they moved me. They moved me because I was doing that laugh. And I said, yeah.
In what context did he come up to you 3 days later, and were you alarmed? During a recording, he sauntered up to you while you were halfway through reading out some information and went, by the way, Richard, I know why I got moved the other day, and I know why security are coming for me now.
No, of course not. We have all little recording breaks and stuff like that.
Right. OK, so during a recording break, he went, I know why I'm laughing normally now.
All right, David, what about Greg?
So, Greg, tell us your story. Not your whole life, you know, just a rickshaw bit. Yeah.
I had a very big celebration in the centre of town.
Oh, where?
What reason?
I was celebrating leaving teaching.
OK.
So I had a very big celebration just after my last night at school.
OK.
Which it was ludicrously big.
OK. You emerged from the bar in question,
Yeah.
a little worse for wear.
I was offensively drunk.
A rickshaw?
Yeah.
Why?
If I'm honest, I was showing off. It'd been a day of showing off.
How far did you have to take Gareth?
He had to take me from central London to Hounslow, which is...
Hounslow?
Yeah. It's something like... It's just shy of 10 miles.
How much was it?
It was £163.
How long did it take, roughly?
I mean, I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know.
I thought you were waiting for the length of time.
So you arrive.
Yeah.
You give him his money. When does the whole idea of offering him a bed for the night?
We didn't even discuss the money because I got off the bike, and by which point I was incredibly sober, and I looked at his face, and it was it was grey. I mean, I genuinely feared for his life. So I said, "Oh my God, you must come in for a bit," and I made him a cup of tea. We're better than that, guys. We're better than that.
Where did he put his rickshaw?
Is that
Very personal.
How did it progress from the cup of tea to the sleepover?
Because honestly, I was sober by the time I got home.
He didn't say cup, but he said, would you like to come in for a bit?
Exhausted from the bit. Biscuits! Fell asleep on the sofa.
Yeah. Now, let's be clear. You've invited him up for a bit. You go in. What happens?
After the cup of tea, I decided that he was clearly still very close to death. So I said, would you like to crash on the sofa? And I'll give you an extra little detail. As he went past my front garden, he said, what is that? Because I had set fire to my teaching outfit before I'd gone out. When my friends first came round, and there was half of a trouser leg left. And Gareth saw it and went, is that half a trouser leg? Has someone spontaneously combusted?
So, we need an answer. So, David's team is Gareth Malone's synchronised singer? Is he Richard's pointless punter? Or is he Greg's shattered chauffeur?
I've got a horrible feeling he's the pointless punter after all of that.
You think pointless punter?
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking rickshaw driver.
Yeah, the detail that Greg was giving was...
The detail of the burnt trouser leg is...
That was like he'd forgotten himself and he was getting into his story. Oh,
Yeah.
this happened. I'm really excited.
But you're discounting Gareth altogether.
Oh, completely, yeah.
Okay, so you're going for the two tall guys there, the two lanky dudes.
Hey!
You know what? We're just two guys.
We're just two people, all
That's what
right?
we are.
The two lampposts there.
We're just...
So, David, what are you going to say?
I'm going to because I genuinely.
You're abstaining.
I'm going to go with the team captain's final decision.
If I had a gun to your head, though, Amanda, and don't rule it out, who would you go for?
Greg.
You go for Greg. All right.
Or Richard.
What do you think?
I think Greg.
You think Greg now?
Oh no.
We'll say Greg. We'll say Greg.
They're saying that it is Greg. Gareth.
He's a pointless contestant.
Would you please... I've taken your answer. Would you now observe the rules of the game and please treat this with a little more respect? Gareth, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Gareth, and I once distracted Gareth.
Yes, Gareth was Gareth's synchronised singer. Gareth, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Which brings us to our final round, quickfire live, and we will start with... It is Richard.
Every time I lock my front door, I squawk like a parrot. That way... That way, if I later worry that I didn't lock it, I remember the squawk and know that I did.
David's team.
Quite genuinely, I think that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
As someone who's slightly OCD about locking stuff, and that, what you need is to remember the moment when you knew it was locked.
Bang.
Yes.
And a squawk of a parrot's as good as anything else. Give us a squawk.
Yeah. I can see the door now.
Yeah.
No, I get confused. Maybe I think, oh, I squawked and I didn't lock it. And
No,
then I
you
confused
squawk after you lock.
Oh, OK.
So it goes lock, squawk.
And when you do your doorway, I don't know your doorway, but are you in view of neighbours? Have you ever been witnessed doing this?
I'm in hearing view of neighbours that side, not
Hearing view.
I mean, whatever the word for hearing view
Earshot.
is.
Richard, you're coming out of the house, OK?
Yeah.
You're reaching into your pocket to get your keys. Act it out for us.
Shall I be the door?
Yeah, I'll tell you
This
what,
is
why
going
don't
to be
you
the
do
worst mime ever.
There's my keys.
Are you going to penetrate Gareth with that?
If you don't want me to do it, I won't do it.
No, we want you to do it.
Sorry.
No, I don't believe him anymore. No, the squawk was too nonchalant.
Yeah, it was, wasn't
What you need is the OCD focus. The
Yeah.
squawk is your point of remembrance.
Yeah, own
You
it.
just squawk like you were saying goodbye to the door in parrot language.
By and large, it's quite perfunctory. I'll admit to that.
It's kind of plausible, because it's him, and he's a bit of an odd bod.
What? What on earth has given you that opinion?
Well, he's so tall.
You know you're saying this in hearing view of me, don't you?
Maybe he does a different
Again.
bird. That's what's going to happen to us. We say, I don't do a parrot, I do this one.
What bird is that?
I don't know, but it's in all the Tarzan films.
And it's also reminded me I turned the gas off when I left the house. So thank you.
What do you think? Is it the truth?
I can't believe you do that much stuff when you go out.
I didn't buy the nonchalant squawk. I don't think it's true of Richard.
OK, Richard, were you telling the truth, or were you telling a lie?
It is a lie.
Yes. It's a lie. Next.
Oh.
It's Amanda.
I spent years making sure I didn't step on my imaginary pet rabbit. When I finally got a real rabbit, I did just that with disastrous consequences.
Greg's team.
What was his name or her name?
Brian or Henry, I can't remember, because it was a long time ago.
Did you have more than one imaginary rabbit, then?
No, it was just one, Greg, come on.
Great. Where did the rabbit live? Was he in a hutch in the garden, or was he one of those rabbits that's allowed to romp through the house?
He was on the bottom step of the stairs.
The imaginary rabbit lived on the bottom step of the stairs?
Of the stairs.
And where did you step on the real rabbit?
I was in the garden and we used to let my pet rabbit run around. It was snowing, so there was white everywhere, and he was a black rabbit, and I used to run around with him, and he ran under my foot, and I trod on him.
In the snow?
Yeah, and he died.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Why are you laughing?
Did stuff come out of his mouth?
Oh. Lee would never have asked that.
No.
I never thought I'd say it, David, but I miss him.
When you got your new rabbit, what was your new rabbit called? The real rabbit? What was,
Elvis.
Elvis? Mm. Do you remember where you were when you heard that Elvis had died?
You've got to ask yourselves this. Does she look like a rabbit killer? Me, I say yes, she does. But does she to you? That's the key thing.
Well, I've got a very firm idea, but
I thought you might.
You had a very firm idea last time, though, didn't you?
I've learnt my lesson. I'm beginning to realise how this programme works. So, Gareth, what's your opinion? I'm genuinely interested.
No, I don't. Do you know what? I don't know.
Oh. Richard?
I think true.
You think true? OK. I don't think true, based on the not being able to remember the name of her own imaginary friend, but casting vote.
Oh, gosh. All right. OK, I'm going to go true.
Then, against my better judgment, we as a team will say that's quite clearly rubbishly nonsensical story is true.
You say it's true. Amanda, truth or lie?
True.
Yes!
Yes!
Yeah, it's true. Next. It is Greg.
I once invented a language so I could speak to my sister in secret. I even gave this language its own name.
What's the name of the language?
It is not a word that you will have heard of, and the word is cushion.
Cushion.
What? Yeah.
So like cushion, but cushion.
Yeah.
And could you say something in cushion?
Yesh.
What? Could you say something?
Is that what yes is in cushion?
I didn't claim that the language was sophisticated. I would say you're arbitrarily adding a sort of shk sound.
So do a sentence.
OK. Ashkamench... Ashk amshk.
It's obviously been a long time since...
I lashkliam in joishking the experience of would I lush to you?
You sound like the chef on Sesame Street.
If it's so simple, what did I say then?
Yeah. You said I am loving the experience of Would I Lie to You.
No, I didn't. I said I'm largely enjoying the experience of Would I Lie to You. So it looks like it's not as simple as you live it.
So where did the name for this language, cushion, come from?
I honestly can't remember, but it was called cushion. And I can tell you, part of the language, and I'm afraid I can't explain this to you, would be sometimes mid-sentence, sometimes at the end of a sentence, just to loudly proclaim, cushion!
Cushion is talking with random shks, if you can squeeze them in.
Yeah.
And occasionally going, cushion, in the middle or at the end of a sentence.
You know, Yeah, and my parents. My parents didn't... they didn't work out cushion, as simplistic as you clearly think it is. They didn't work it out, so...
They didn't work it out. When you said, I squunched ghost to the shops, they went, oh, what on earth is he saying?
Oh, God! Hang on, David. Cushion!
So, David, he's been quite fulsome, a lot of detail, but is it the truth or is it a lie?
What do you think?
Well, I believed him up until the point where he went, cushion, and then I...
He's enjoying cushion
Yeah,
far too much.
he's enjoying it.
Although he could be enjoying it with the fact that his sister is watching their secret language being outed.
Yeah. She won't dislike it. She'll be ashkelushklis delishtish.
I don't. I don't.
And that, my friends, so far is the biggest cushion of them all.
It's not inconceivable, but it is unlikely.
What do you think? Truth or lie?
Lie.
Lie, let's do it.
Lie.
You're saying it's a lie? OK. Greg, truth or lie?
Ishk, washk, telishk, the trushk.
Oh! And that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show. I can reveal that Greg's team have won by 4 points to 2. But of course, it's not just a team game. My individual liar of the week this week is Gareth Malone. Gareth Malone. Something those military husbands might want to think about next time they leave you alone with their wives. Good night.